All right. Hi, everyone. So it's PLUCare here. So today we want to talk about something that has been going around on X a lot. It's about JD Vance being weird. So JD Vance is actually um, the Republican nominee for vice president at the moment, and since he was announced as the running mate of President Trump. Um, the Democrats or the left have used a very weird attack against him. So they're basically calling him weird, and this was actually coined by the current nominee for vice president on the Democratic Party, which is Governor Tim Walz. So he's the first guy who said JD Vance is weird, and then all of a sudden you start hearing it in every mainstream news media, and every left and Democrat representatives are parroting the same attack against JD Vance. So I just thought that I wanted to share something about this. But before that, let's watch a clip from Alibeth Stuckey, who actually talked about this as well on a podcast recently.
Audience is looking at policy, but then there's a segment who is going off vibes, who is going off feelings. I'm not going to change that in the next 100 days.
Right.
So, how am I going to shift this around? If they think that they're weird, that they're creepy, what's the only thing worse than a weird guy? And that's a mean girl. Kamala Harris is a mean girl. She is a bully. She is calloused. She is calculating. She has spent her entire career pushing vulnerable and weak people to the side so she can gain power. The first person, Blanche Brown, Willie Brown's wife. She decided to push her to the side so she could gain power. David Daleiden, the pro-life journalist investigating Planned Parenthood for trafficking baby parts. Kamala Harris went after him. Kamala Harris, when she was AG, went after these pro-life pregnancy centers, forcing them to advertise for abortion. Of course, that law got overturned because it's unconstitutional.
Yep.
And then as a senator, she did the same thing, punishing babies who were born alive after abortion, saying that they should not have a right to care. And then in her latest iteration of being a mean girl, she pushed Joe Biden to the side, this feeble old guy, because she wanted power. She's a JD Vance weird. She's calling you weird. She's calling you homeschool mom weird. She's calling you patriotic veteran weird. She's calling you worshiping Christian weird. There's the ranchers, the people that she stands against. She thinks you're weird. You're not a part of her cool crowd. You're not a part of the cocktail circuit. You don't have the approval of the Obamas and the Clintons the way that she does. She's a mean, calculating, calloused person who I've heard is a horror to work with. And that's who she is. So when she calls a beloved father and grandfather in Donald Trump and a beloved husband and father in JD Vance weird, she's calling you average American weird because she is mean and she is calloused. That is the last person you want as president.
Okay, so I hope you listened to that clip by Alibeth. So I think so to just sum up what she was saying in that clip. So she said that when Kamala Harris calls JD Vance weird, she's actually calling the average American who is pro-family, who has a family, who has a nuclear family where there's a wife and a husband and kids as weird. So that's actually really an attack on the average American. But to add on to that, I personally admire JD Vance. I don't think he's weird at all. I think his story of growing up in a dysfunctional home and achieving upward mobility to be very aspirational. It's something that I personally want to achieve as well in my own personal life. So, and to see him going from um, being in such a poverty-stricken environment to becoming a senator for the state of Ohio, and then now he's running for vice president with President Trump. It's so inspiring, and there's nothing weird about JD Vance. He's married to a minority woman. Her name is Usha. And Usha Vance recently went on Fox News to talk to Ainsley Earhart, and that interview was so good. She was so well spoken, soft spoken, and she was very articulate, and she was clearly very much in love with her husband. Is very supportive of what her husband is doing. So, as a young man in his early 30s, when I see JD Vance, that's exactly what I want to become. I want to become a man like him, who is a husband, who is a father to children, and who cares for his wife, who loves his wife dearly. So that's what I get when I see JD Vance, and I've read his book. I really admire him, and I don't think he's weird at all. So um, being normal, having a family, it's not weird. It's actually what God wants you to do, especially if you're a man. I think becoming a father, getting married is very important. So yeah, so that's just what I wanted to share today about this line of attack that the left or the Democrats are using against JD Vance. He's actually not weird at all. But do let me know what you think. Do you think he's weird? Um, what are your thoughts? So I'm happy to hear your thoughts on the comment section below. Yeah.